Coming up tonight on Luigi Talk Radio, is demotivation the new motivation? If that makes absolutely no sense, you'll understand very soon. Plus, I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom for over 100 hours. I'll share my thoughts with you on the game so far, and I found a show pilot that I think you'll like as well. That's tonight.
I don't want this night to end. It's closing time, so leave with me again. Yeah, you got all my love to spend. Oh, let's find a place where happiness begins. We're gonna dance in my living room, slave to the way you move, hurts when I'm leaving you. Just dance in the living room, love with an attitude, drunk to an 80s groove. We're gonna dance in my living room, slave to the way you move, hurts when I'm leaving you. Dance in the living room, love with an attitude, drunk. It's only you, man, you know that it's real. So why would you fight or try to deny the way that you feel? Oh baby, you can't fool me. Your body's got other plans, so stop pretending you're shy. Just come on and dance, 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 dance. Oh. Early morning, light. Only getting up to close the blinds. I'm praying you don't change your mind, 'cause leaving now just don't feel right. Let's do it one more time. Oh, babe. We're gonna dance in my living room, slave to the way you move, hurts when I'm leaving you. Just dance in the living room, love with an attitude, drunk to an 80s groove. We're gonna dance in my living room, slave to the way you move, hurts when I'm leaving you. Dance in the living room, love with an attitude, drunk. It's only you, man, you know that it's real. So why would you fight or try to deny the way that you feel? Oh baby, you can't fool me. Your body's got other plans, so stop pretending you're shy. Just come on and dance, 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 dance. Oh. Only human. It's only human. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Only human. It's only human.
The message is perfectly simple. The meaning is clear. Don't ever stray too far. And don't disappear. No, don't disappear. Ever had the feeling almost broke in two? Said that you were leaving like you do. You do. All my dreams came true last night. All my hopes and fears. All my dreams came true once more in tears. straight too far. And don't disappear. No, don't disappear. Be near me. Be near. 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 What's your reputation? Ecstasy. What's your inclination? Next to me. What's your reputation? Ecstasy. What's your inclination? Next to me. What's your reputation? Ecstasy. What's your inclination?
Is demotivation the new motivation? I ask because this has come up a few times over the last couple of weeks in regards to something I introduced to people called a demotivational calendar, daily calendar, where each day you tear off a page and it reads to you some sort of demotivational spiel, something that will just make you completely demotivated instead of motivated. Think motivational calendar, it's the opposite of that. Motivational calendar would say, you're doing great. Demotivational calendar says, you suck. Your life is terrible. You chew too loudly and everyone hates it. March will never not be March. It's madness, right? People seem to be liking it. Because every time I bring it up to people, they're like, this is the greatest thing ever. I mean, I was one of those people when I was first introduced to the demotivational calendar last year. I enjoy it. In fact, it's the highlight of my day. I look forward to turning the page and seeing what horrible thing it's going to say in the morning. It's weird because you think that we wouldn't want to be demotivated. It would just deflate us further or like put us in a terrible mood. But no, people seem to like it. They just laugh about it, which is great. I just love it. If you don't love it, well, you can comment below and tell me why. If you do love it, well, comment below and tell me why as well. This is the nice thing about doing a kind of sort of radio show, except on a platform that accepts comments, because I can read later what you're saying. And during the live feed, I can see what you're saying live. That's great. And if I somehow manage to predict exactly what you say live, that's creepy. And that's where we're dropping off for now.
You're a real tough cookie with a long history of breaking little hearts like the one in me. That's okay, let's see how you do it. Put up your dukes, let's get down to it. Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot? Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. Come on,
To those of you who had managed to get 100 plus hours less than a month into Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom being out, I salute you. I don't have that kind of time. To those of you who have a 9-to-5 job and has still managed to get 100 hours plus a month in, I salute you even more, because that means you somehow found all the time in the world to just play this game. Either that, or you just neglected all your adult responsibilities in favor of playing the game for over 100 hours. I still salute you.
Breaking my back just to know your name. 17 tracks and I've had it with this game. I'm breaking my back just to know your name. But heaven ain't close in a place like this. Anything goes, but don't think you might miss. 'Cause heaven ain't close in a place like this. I said heaven ain't close in a place like this. Bring it back down tonight. Never thought I'd let a rumor ruin my moonlight. Well, somebody told me you had a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend that I had in February of last year. It's not confidential, I've got potential. Ready, let's roll on to something new. Taking its toll and I'm leaving without you. 'Cause heaven ain't close in a place like this. I said heaven ain't close in a place like this. Bring it back down tonight. Never thought I'd let a rumor ruin my moonlight. Well, somebody told me you had a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend that I had in February of last year. It's not confidential, I've got potential. Rushing around. Place yourself for me. I said maybe, baby, please. But I just don't know now. When all I wanna do is try. But somebody told me you had a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend that I had in February of last year. It's not confidential, I've got potential. Rushing around. Now somebody told me you had a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend that I had in February of last year. It's not confidential, I've got potential. Rushing around. Somebody told me you had a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend that I had in February of last year. It's not confidential, I've got potential. Rushing around.
100 hours into Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom in August. The game came out in May. That, I guess it just shows how little time I've had to play it, which is a weird thing to say at logging 100 hours. But there are some people I know who managed to get that far within like a month or two. And I salute them for setting aside that much time to just game. I wish I could do that. I have things to do that are a little more important than playing a game. And so I wasn't able to just sit down and play Tears of the Kingdom for like 6 hours a day. But yeah, salutes to you if you did. I do think I have a decent knowledge of the game now in order to say a few words about my what I think about it. First of all, it's a great game. I'm having a lot of fun. It's taking a tick over 100 hours to start getting to like the... am I getting close to the end at all? I'm barely starting to get to that surface. I'm starting to focus a little more on the main quests than I did before. But there's just so much to do. I feel like I've barely scratched the surface. I haven't figured out where all the shrines are on the surface or where all the light roots are in the depths. I haven't even finished one of the side quests that you got pretty much immediately involving the Yiga clan. So I haven't done that. I've somehow managed to drag it out about as pretty far through the game to where it was like a little bit of it I could do after completing such and such of the main objective. But yeah, the power-ups are cool. if I had to pick a favorite, definitely the recall has come in handy more times than I can imagine. I'm thinking of the power-ups that were in the first game, and one that I'm sad's gone has got to be the infinite bombs. So much for that. Those were I wouldn't say like useful in terms of, okay, they were useful, but they're also fun, just like bomb enemies from a hiding spot in one of their enemy caverns. You can't do that anymore. Okay, you can, but you gotta spend bomb flowers, and I love blowing up stuff in games, so I am always low on bomb flowers. I am actually at like 2 right now, I think, if I'm thinking about where I am currently in game. 2 bombs left, and that's after buying like 20 and finding like 30 in the chest, so I've burned through those bad boys. You also have to keep an eye on your regular arrows because they got rid of the different elemental arrows. You only have one, the standard type now, and you need to fuse stuff to those arrows using the fuse ability in order to get like the bombs or get the freeze effect, which is a bummer to me because that's a bit annoying to do because you always have to like hold the up button and then scroll through all your items of stuff until you hit the thing you want. It got used to it after a while, but I still think I would prefer if they had kept it as separate elemental arrows instead of combining it with the new fuse mechanic, which I guess they were trying to do. What they were trying to do with it was really push the whole fuse ability so you could use different enemy parts to get stronger attack. Hope that last bit of audio caught, and I had to quickly pause and turn it on so I could burp in the other direction. I think I forgot to edit out a burp from last week's podcast. We'll get better at it as we go on. I'm a little rusty at doing radio shows, so I'm not going to lie. But I haven't even gotten to talking about the music, and I feel like I've been talking for a long time. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to the music, and then we're going to talk about music. How you like that? No, I thought you would. Here is Van Halen, You Really Got Me.
Girl, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Girl, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. Girl, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know where I'm going, yeah. Oh yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. You really got me. Oh, you really got me. Oh, you really got me. Please don't ever let me be. I only wanna be by your side. Please don't ever let me be. I only wanna be by your side. Girl, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing, yeah. Oh yeah, you really got me now. Got me so I can't sleep at night. You really got me. You really got me. You really got me. Oh no, no. Girl, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Girl, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. Girl, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know where I'm going, yeah. Oh yeah, you really got me now. Got me so I can't sleep at night. You really got me. You really got me. Oh, you really got me. Oh, oh, oh.
I have to mention this before I forget. One of the most memorable songs, and I make sure to sit in front of my surround sound subwoofer to make sure I get the full effect, has to be Master Kuga's boss theme song. It is way too good of a banger to be in a Zelda game. It is not what I expect at all to be in a Zelda game. Me talking loud, because yeah, You gotta crank that song when it comes on. The same thing with Motley Crue, Kickstart My Heart. Playing for you now on Luigi Talk Radio. And I'm gonna talk a little bit longer so that I can talk right into the singing.
When we started this band, I was needed was a laugh. Years gone by, I say we've kicked some ass. When I make rage, you hear the stage, drilling a rush through my veins, and I say we're still kicking ass. Say, kickstart my heart, hope it never stops till the day we did all of this to us.
A quick word on music, and then we'll move on to our last topic for the night. Okay, the coolest first experience I had in this game was definitely the best decision I've made in the entire game, because none of the other temples lived up to this. I went to do the Wind Temple first, in the Iceland, and I fell in love with the way they did the music in that section. The gimmick of this game's music is that as you progress further through like an area or through a temple, it'll get progressively more and more elaborate. And the best example I can think of for an area that did that was the approach area for the Wind Temple. I'm probably gonna put it playing in the background for you. In fact, I will. But it was just so great. The way it like built up as the higher you got in the snow. It kind of caught me off guard the first time it elaborated, but I loved it. And I had a few cleanup things to do after I beat the temple and had to go back to that area. And hearing it go back to the normal music, no, it was bad. I didn't want to hear the normal, just cold environment music, because they mix the cold environment theme into the music they play during that segment. And I can't say enough praise for that. Wind Temple area, and especially the approach, has to be one of two highlights of this game. Because the biggest highlight for me, Master Kuga coming back. Unexpected surprise, so glad it did it though. I definitely highly recommend Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom to anyone who has not played it yet. Unless you're still distracted by Baldur's Gate 3, you need to pick up Tears of the Kingdom and play it through. Don't just do the main objectives, you need to do the side quests as well to get the full experience. I particularly love doing the Hateno Village side quest. That was my favorite side quest, I think, in the game so far. I have been doing those. And I'm not gonna spoil too much about how the game works. I will say though, you just gotta pick it up and experience it for yourself. Wind Temple first, that's a must. Also, a little bit of advice. There's a surprising amount of stuff you need to do in Lookout Landing that will help trigger different quests and side quests around the map. So make sure you explore Lookout Landing pretty thoroughly. I know, at least I was, and other people were too. As soon as they got to Lookout Landing, they were like, let's get out of here. I want to play the game. Stop tutorial level. Stop making me do the tutorial. There, I can speak. That's it for Zelda Talk. Coming up next, we're going to talk about a game, or I keep calling it a game. It's a show. We're going to talk about a show that completely surprised me in terms of how good it was and how much I enjoyed watching the pilot. I'm not going to tell you what it is, though. After this song right here, I'm going to play what, if it's not the theme song, should be the theme song for the show. And if you can figure out which one I'm talking about before it ends, I salute you like I salute those who have played 100 hours in Tears of the Kingdom long before I did.
Hey, last time that you saw me, I was hungry, selling shirts and doing open mics. You remember this is when I had a shorty, but abruptly had to tell her goodbye. Cause this life's like a dream, and everything ain't all what it seems. And if I don't rely on no one, that I'm betting on me. Look, mom, I'm on the TV and the radio. I think that's your favorite song. I ain't coming home tonight. I'ma beat every opponent. I've been waiting for this moment. Time to spread my wings and fly. Hey, last time that you saw me, I was thirsty trying to get your number. You declined. Fast forward and I'm touring in your city, and guess who I'm seeing stand in line? This life's like a dream, and everything ain't all what it seems. And if I don't rely on no one, that I'm betting on me. Look, mom, I'm on the TV and the radio. I think that's your favorite song. I ain't coming home tonight. I'ma beat every opponent. I've been waiting for this moment. Time to spread my wings and fly. I go and I never look back, yeah. I go and I never look back, yeah.
kinda guy. But though the waters stay fast and oh so free, I ain't never seen mouths this dry. Yet the common man will find his fix, whether morphine or creosol. But there's one sure way to get him ossified. You gotta dig up that liquid gold. Time's a wasting, friend, can't spare a minute. Take a big inhale of those St. Louis spirits. You can speak easy, chums, it'll be alright. So take a swig for your courage and belong tonight. Roads not taken, met little Daisy and the secrets that she hides. But it ain't been easy for dear Miss M since the man that she loved died. So it's up to us to find the entertainment to keep ourselves brave and bold. And what better way to show our gallantry than to dig for that liquid gold? I said time's a wasting, cause I can't spare a minute. Feel the vibes in the air of those St. Louis spirits. We can speak easy, chums, we'll keep out of sight. So take a swig for your courage and we'll own tonight. Now the extravagance and show of this sordid affair will very spoil the ambience of the Mississippi air. And if thine eyes shall fall and rest on the scene, then pay no mind, friend, merely greasing the machine.
Here we go.
I've had run-ins with rum runners and grooves, but it's never bothered me none, just a normal afternoon. So if you're keen to listen, here's an opera I'll propose. Let me work and I'll provide you with a touch of that gold. Time's a wasting, friend, can't spare a minute. And there's no sweet smell than the St. Louis spirits. We're speaking easy, friends, we're on a bootlegger's flight. We'll take a swig for our courage and we'll own tonight.
Guess I should have seen this one coming.
So take a swig for your courage and we'll own tonight. We're gonna dig up that liquid gold.
Liquid Gold, the theme song, at least it better be, for the Lackadaisy show based on the comic of the same name, which I discovered last spring. I can't believe it's been 3 months since I first watched it. I thought it was phenomenal. It's set in the 1930s during the Prohibition. And as someone who really likes to not the 80s, where'd that come from? The 1920s and 1930s, Secret of the Old Clock, the Nancy Drew game, one of my favorite games. I was pretty dang excited to see it. The pilot is all that's been made so far, and it looks phenomenal. I highly recommend, if you haven't seen it yet, to go look it up, watch it, and give it a chance. Because I know 5 seconds in, you're going to see it, and you'll be like, why would I want to watch this? Do it. You will be completely blown away and pleasantly surprised by what that show has to offer. And if you watch it and you still don't like it, that's okay. You're allowed to be wrong. Everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. It's a free country, and I'm not going to force my opinions on you. Unlike some people who think that their opinion is the correct opinion and will therefore force it upon everyone.
I know it's a bad idea, but how can I help myself? Been inside for most this year, and I thought a few drinks, they might help. It's been a while, my dear, dealing with the cards life dealt. I'm still holding back these tears, well, my friends are somewhere else. I pictured this year a little bit different. When it hit February, a step in the bar, it hit me so hard. Oh, how can it be this heavy? Every song reminds me you're gone, and I feel the lump form in my throat, 'cause I'm here alone, just dancing with my eyes closed. 'Cause everywhere I look, I still see you. And time is moving so slow, and I don't know what else different, no one is ever ready. And when it unfolds, you get in a hole. Oh, how can it be this heavy? Everything changes, nothing's the same, except the truth is now you're gone. Life just goes on. So I'm dancing with my eyes closed. 'Cause everywhere I look, I still see you. And time is moving so slow. And I don't know what else that I can do. So I'll keep dancing with my eyes closed. So I'll keep dancing with my eyes closed. Oh, I keep dancing with my. They're shutting the bar, they're cleaning the floor, and everyone is already home. But I'm on my own, still dancing with my eyes closed. 'Cause everywhere I look, I still see you. Time is moving so slow. I don't know what else that I can do. So I'll keep dancing with my eyes closed. Oh, I keep dancing with my eyes closed. Oh, I keep dancing with my.
In case you've forgotten by this point, you're watching the Lackadaisy pilot as soon as this video is over.
Anytime that you like, gonna give you my heart to break. Angel eyes, tell me lies, gonna give you my heart to break. One look at you, I'm powerless. I feel my body saying yes. Where's my self-control? And when you touch me, I'm a fool. This game I know I'm gonna lose. It makes me want you more. Even if it means that I'll never put myself back together, gonna give you my heart to break. Even if I end up in shadows, baby, it doesn't matter. Gonna give you my heart to break. I tried to fight, but I can't help it. Don't care if this is my worst mistake. 'Cause no one else could do it better. And that's why I give you my heart to break. Butterflies every time, gonna give you my heart to break. Devilish every kiss, gonna give you my heart to break. One look at you, I'm powerless. I feel my body saying yes. Where's my self-control? And when you touch me, I'm a fool. This game I know I'm gonna lose. It makes me want you more. Even if it means that I'll never put myself back together, gonna give you my heart to break. Even if I end up in shadows, baby, it doesn't matter. Gonna give you my heart to break. I tried to fight, but I can't help it. Don't care if this is my worst mistake. No, 'cause no one else could do it better. And that's why I give you my heart to break. Heart to break. Yeah, one look at you, I'm powerless. I feel my body saying yes. Where's my self-control? And when you touch me, I'm a fool. This game I know I'm gonna lose. Makes me want you more. Even if it means that I'll never put myself back together, gonna give you my heart to break. Even if I end up in shadows, baby, it doesn't matter. Gonna give you my heart to break. I tried to fight,
Well, as with all things, all good things must come to an end, including this show. So we're going to wrap things up right now. Hope you had a great time. And remember, your assignment for tonight is not to go put on a movie, is not to go straight to bed, is not to go play game night with your friends or family. It's to go watch the Lackadaisy pilot. I expect you to do that as soon as Smash Mouth's song, Come On, Come On, is over. You're doing it, and you're reporting back here next week to tell me you're done. Have a great night, y'all.
Walking out of the door, I'm on my way. Can you tell me just where I'm going? Occupational skills, would you give me a clue what to do? Cause my mind's in motion. Just trying to relax, to find myself on the couch with big plans, but there's always tomorrow. Is something wrong with me? Or the way that I'm thinking? Come on, and tell me why you're staring. Come on, it must be what I'm wearing. Come on, and tell me why is it taking so long for you to recognize and stop? Another day in the sun, I'm having fun. Feel the heat sneaking up on me. I take a look at the sky, a plane goes by. Is that the reason that I can't breathe? I take a look and I wonder why these birds don't fly. It's hard for me to see and I believe. Oh my. Come on, and tell me why you're staring. Come on, it must be what I'm wearing. Come on, and tell me why does it take so long for you to recognize and stop? To the bar, does no money go far? Can you show me just how to spend it? Moving around, I like the sound. To find myself looking pretty stupid. If I had a guess, she's in a dress. I better slow my drinking down. If I don't get it together tonight, they gotta run me out of town. Come on, and tell me why you're staring.